Driven, everyone. I'm Angela Kreig. Today I've got the founders of Dad Squad, and that would be Joe Crenshaw and Ladrell James.
Got it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, excited for you guys to be here. What is Dad Squad?
It's all you, bro.
No, Joe, go.
All right, so dads are kind of isolated. Dads don't have as much community, honestly, as moms do, or even opportunity for community. And so a lot of our goal is, one, just to give a space for dad to have some friends, some good hangs, all the things, but really just to pull dads out of isolation and into community, because a lot of dads out there struggling, and the only thing worse than struggling is struggling by yourself. And so we've created a platform that just allows dads to build that community and to get new friends and to go hang out and have a good time, but also to be vulnerable and to share your struggles. Because we find out that most guys feel like they're the only one that struggles with something, and then as soon as they say it, everybody's like, oh yeah, me too. And then they are able to talk about it. So that's kind of high level.
All right, was there something that happened, or where was this aha moment that you guys came up with this concept?
Well, it's interesting because we were doing this with a previous brand, previous dad brand. But, you know, Joe and I, we've been working with men, you know, for a long time now. So we both have, you know, Christian backgrounds and are involved and, you know, just, you know, expanding the faith. And, you know, that's what drives us a lot. That's a lot of what drives Dad Squad as well. We got started with that other dad brand, and it was just obvious that we were created for that, and our influence expanded almost immediately. Community was happening.
So let's talk about the community. How many people are part of Dad Squad right now?
We are about to hit 6,000. 6,000 dads in our hub squad. And when I say 6,000, like, it's easy to get 6,000 followers on an Instagram page or something. We're talking like 6,000 invested, engaged. Like, we're in the top 1% on the Facebook platform for groups as far as engagement.
Oh, that's great.
Which means, like, we're talking about dads that visit the page every single day and engage in some capacity. So almost 6,000, and we started, I guess, the last week of November or first week of December.
And what is the reach of Dad Squad?
Yeah, so we have a Dallas DFW Dad Squad is the hub for Dallas.
Okay.
And then we also have city groups, and so basically as we've grown this thing, as we've located leaders that kind of stand out in the community, that are very engaged, that kind of model high character, as well as just community really well. We've located those people, and so we've got county leaders and city leaders for the Metroplex.
Okay.
So like the main hub counties are Tarrant, Dallas, Denton, and Collin right now. We've got county leaders for each of those, and then we have city leaders that have started their own Dad Squad in their cities. And actually, we've already started a Dad Squad Austin. And so now we're even in another city, and we're having conversations with other states. We've even had conversations with other countries as well to launch Dad Squad brands all over the place. That's the goal for us. So.
All right, what are some of the activities that happen throughout Dad Squad to give an opportunity to all of these dads to get together and you know, form those bonds and be there for each other, that brotherhood that you're speaking of?
You know, it's typical dad stuff. Honestly, we don't try to predefine the events or anything like that. We actually really cater to their interest. And so we have a huge basketball following, which is why I have a busted lip right here. You see it? Last night, balling out there in McKinney with some of our guys. My guy Peter Carrero with the elbow. Thank you, Peter.
Shout out to Peter.
Straight to the face. And so we have a huge basketball community within Dad Squad, so we'll cater to that. You know, fishing, hunting. You know, it's really a lot of it's typical dad stuff, but I think the philosophy that drives a lot of the get-togethers and events is that women connect face-to-face, men connect side-by-side, you know, and so we just try to provide those opportunities for men to do something side-by-side and really form those bonds and connections that are, you know, going to support them through their hard times.
We follow their lead, and when somebody's like, hey, does anybody ever, like, I can't think of an example, like, does anybody collect baseball cards, or does anybody play poker? We'll just like, hey, give us a date, time, location, set it up. we'll play poker. We'll
Yeah.
see who wants to play poker. Does
Yeah.
anybody like to play pool? What any of those things? Like
Yeah.
we follow their lead. And the thing is, like, if community relied on me and his calendar, and for us to just create events, and it's just like, okay, we can do this, then this are your ideas, we'd be limited on community. And so, like, we were averaging like 17 events a week all over DFW, and we'll go like 2 of them. We go when we can, as much as we're able to.
Yeah, because
But-
you guys are both dads.
yeah, for sure. We'll join when it's, in conducive to our calendars, but these dads are out there leading their own events and having their own gatherings on their own.
And this isn't just for single dads. This is for all dads, right?
Aspiring dads, father figures, men interested in fatherhood, dads, and so
Grandpas.
it covers a wide umbrella.
So it sounds like you guys have had an impact on thousands of dads so far. Is there any special stories or anything that stands out to you?
I think one that really stands out to me, we actually, when the apartment complex burned down in Fort Worth, Texas, one thing we did was we actually paired dads up with residents, and we had the residents make a Amazon wish list or a Walmart wish list, get it to the dad would fulfill it, order it, pick it up, get it to them, and just encourage them. And so just that kind of communal impact that we want to make, I've always loved that we were able to do that. And so that's a huge part of what we do. But some of the more personal impact stories are, we walk through dads who, we're on the phone with dads who are, considering suicide, and they don't know what would have happened if we wouldn't have picked up the phone.
Wow.
And so, and we take those calls at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, round the clock. And so that does consume quite a bit of our time in what we do inside of Dad Squad. So even just kind of crisis response and being there for these guys has been a huge, huge difference maker in their lives.
And one thing that's cool about that is because, like, unfortunately, the frequency of that type of call is just way more than you would want it to be. We don't want those types of calls, right? That obviously means it's a major crisis. But because of the frequency, and because we also know that we're limited, and like, what if we weren't available? What if I didn't answer that guy's phone call? What if something was happening? We're actually in the process right now. I've had a bunch of conversations in the last 2 weeks about just putting together basically a crisis response team, to where it's like, it can't rely on just me and him and being available for
Right.
this stuff. So we've got people who, one, are just interested, two, maybe even have some background or experience with this, whether it be personal experience with suicide itself, or even some guys who have actually like done suicide prevention type stuff. Now we're collaboratively creating a whole crisis response team, to where it's like, unfortunately this happens way too much, but we've got to be ready and prepared for this type of stuff, so that never happens on our watch.
So guys, how do you stay driven?
How do you
Ladrell?
stay driven, Joe?
Joe?
Fruit, man. If it's like, if I'm doing work, same thing with every job I've ever done. If I'm like doing all the things and I cannot see the fruit of what I'm doing, I cannot actually see it being productive or it actually impacting or helping people, then ultimately I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. That's why it's easy for us to be driven here and to stay, is because like, it's all around us all the time. The amount of stories and the amount of impact that's happening, and relationships being restored, and families being restored, and guys being, pulled out of isolation in ways that are changing their lives dramatically. It's like, dude, why would I want to do anything else? That drives me every day. What about you, bro?
Yeah,
What about you, Ladrell?
very similar. I mean, purpose, calling, my faith. When you're aligned and you're walking in that thing that you feel like God's called you to be walking in, it's self-perpetuating. The drivenness is built into it, because it's what you were called to do. And so, and definitely the fruit of it. Oftentimes you plant seeds, but you don't get to see that thing grow. It's pretty cool here because you get to plant the seed and you also get to see it grow as well, because you're walking with these men, because it's a community. It's not just a one touch and go platform or system. It's meant to do brotherhood and be entrenched in these guys' lives. So we get to see the seed and we get to see it grow.
All right, well, there you have it. Dad Squad, Joe, Ladrell, thank you guys so much for coming on Driven today. Best of luck with everything Dad Squad, and stay driven, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.